Hey, what's up, Virgo? Here's your reading for May of 2017. I already pre-shuffled the cards. Let's go and get started. Guardian angels of love and light, ancestors lost and known in the seas of time, please intercede into this reading to provide Virgo with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks, and please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay the messages as they are meant to be. Spirit, please release Virgo's first base card in May of 2017. The Four of Stones, or Four of Pentacles. Please clarify, Spirit, with up to 2 cards as to why the Four of Stones is here for Virgo. Why is the Four of Stones here for Virgo, Spirit? Please reveal as to why the Four of Stones is here for Virgo for May 2017. Okay. The Two of Stones in reverse. Spirit, release up to 1 more card clarifying why the Four of Stones. Why the Four of Stones is here for Virgo. Please, Spirit, release 1 more card clarifying the Four of Stones and why it's here for Virgo. This card's kind of popping out. I'm going to go ahead and take it. Okay. The Seven of Wands in reverse. Right, Spirit, please release Virgo's second base card for May of 2017. The second base card for May of 2017 for Virgo. Okay, oh, I caught this one in midair. The Three of Swords. Spirit, why is the Three of Swords here? Please clarify with at least 2 cards. Okay, I went flying. The Star in reverse. Possibly dealing maybe with an Aquarius, Virgo. For the sake of the card, you know. Spirit, please release up to 1 more card clarifying why the Three of Swords is here for Virgo for May 2017. Spirit, why is the Three of Swords here? Please clarify it. The King of Stones in reverse. Alright, Spirit, please release up to 3 cards for what is crowning Virgo. What are in Virgo's thoughts pertaining to this situation or situations for May 2017? What are in Virgo's thoughts? What's crowning Virgo? Can we go ahead and take these 2? The Empress upright. The Eight of Stones in reverse. Spirit, release up to 1 more card for what's crowning Virgo. What are Virgo's thoughts? Okay, so it's in reverse since it's in my perspective. So it's the Five of Stones in reverse. All right, Spirit, let's go ahead and release up to 3 cards for advice for Virgo pertaining to the situations. The Three of Stones in reverse. So much earth energy here, Virgo. Not surprising, right? A little bit of fire, a little bit of swords, a little bit of air, a little bit of fire too, but yeah, mostly earth energy. Crazy. Please release up to 2 more cards for Virgo for advice for May of 2017. Up to 2 more cards, please, Spirit. Okay, I'm going to take this one. I wanted to pop up. Virgo, you came up in your own reading in reverse. Boy, oh boy, what's going on? I wasn't even going to take, I'm going to take this one too because they were both popping out. So, okay, the Daughter of Cups, upright. Right. All right, Virgo, we're coming into the reading. The Ace of Swords in reverse. So the Ace of Swords in reverse, how we're coming into the reading, is anger, aggression, and distorted thinking. All right, Virgo, well, let's delve more into this. Go ahead and shift things around per usual. So you guys can see the cards clearly. Here's the advice right here. Make sure you guys can see it. Okay. Here's what's in your thoughts, Virgo. Do it like this. Here's what was crowning you. Here's the first set of cards, the base, the 2 clarifiers, and then here is your advice. Okay, advice, crowning you, the set of cards. Okay, Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Still beating yourself up, huh? Why do you do this to yourself? All right, Virgo. Okay. So we have the Four of Stones. It says the power of the earth. So the Four of Stones, when it's upright, it's creative, new ideas, and overwhelming energy. You may be starting a new project, possibly, Virgo. Feel pretty good about it, right? But why is your courage and the harmony in reverse? Why do we feel like we don't have the courage and we don't have the serenity for this creative new idea or this overwhelming energy that we have? What type of energy maybe is it? I kind of feel like it's somewhat good energy. But the Two of Stones in reverse is discord and time for solitude. So do you have to go into that cave, Virgo? Because it's pretty much in your thoughts that you must go into that cave. Why do we feel like this, Virgo? Why do we have so much material here? So much earth energy. And our courage is down though. Why do we have loss of nerve in terms of moving forward? Hesitation, seeking alternate possibilities, possibly reconciliation? Reconciliation of what, Virgo? Of maybe acting cautiously, which is the Five of Stones in reverse. And also the movement for the better. So Virgo, we feel like we need to move, but we feel like we need to move. What are we moving? Are we continuing to be stuck? Because in your thoughts, you have the Empress. This is the mother of all creation. What are you creating, Virgo? Why is your courage down? Why do you feel the need to move? But the need to move. Let that set in for a little bit. Impatient, maybe? Ignorance? You can't really be too upset over ignorance. Because if we don't know, we don't know. How can we hold anyone accountable for something that they don't know? But I think you know, Virgo. What's going on with no moderation? Or getting a little too ahead of yourself? Because I don't think ignorance is involved in here, Virgo. You know what you're creating. But the things that you're creating, Virgo, are they working for you? Because I'm not saying that this is for everyone. Because once again, this is a general reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest. The Three of Stones here is in reverse, which means lack of teamwork. Working bad in certain situations in terms of the people that maybe you involve yourself with or the things that are procured. Possibly unemployment. And maybe, I don't want to use the word lazy, Virgo, but maybe complacency. Because complacency can be a very evil thing. And that in terms of being comfortable, which is there's nothing wrong with that. But Virgo, we know we don't do comfortable too well for long periods of time. Because we need to always move forward. And when we're not moving, we become agitated. Because we always want to work towards a goal. And we always want to check those things off. But why are we aggressive and why are we angered? And we have distorted thinking. Is it maybe because of the complacency? Is it maybe because of the courage being down? Is it maybe because of knowing that the things that we're doing is not really seeking the knowledge too well? Is it because we feel like we need to act cautiously? Okay, Virgo, I'm just going to say it. Why do you need to act cautiously, Virgo? What are you preparing for? Because there should be no reason why you need to act cautiously or prepare yourself for cautious events or for precarious events if it didn't serve a purpose. So why, Virgo? Why do you feel like that is absolutely necessary? What are you setting up for yourself? Because you're common, you have that radiant vibe going on with you, and you have strength of character. But when you set yourself up to have the need to act cautiously, what strength of character or where does that fit in that strength of character? Yeah, we need to be cautious about certain things. But I'm taking this more of a negative sense because the knowledge is in reverse, Virgo. And we're all about the knowledge. I'm a Virgo sun. Because we have these new ideas and this overwhelming energy. But we're not confident in it. And I feel like the things that we're creating are falsehoods, maybe, to a certain sense. I don't know why I'm picking that up here. It seems like a lot of the things that we're doing or we're setting up for ourselves is just, we know it's not really going to serve us in the end. But I feel like, Virgo, we're having that moment of, I don't know why I'm picking up. Are we too worried about other people's issues? Are we trying to help everyone else? So that when it comes time to deal with our problems, we're just way too exhausted to deal with ours and we just want to push ours to the side? Which is what Virgos tend to do because, we do want to help and we do it very well. We give wonderful advice. But do you ever take your own advice though, Virgo? Because I feel like you don't, since, Two of Stones and Seven of Wands are in reverse here, right over here. You have these new ideas, but yet you feel like they're not of substance. But yet you feel like you are a character of substance. And why are you coming up and reversing your own reading? I feel like you're lying to yourself, Virgo. You're in this moment of, everything's gonna be all right. When clearly, is it all right? But let's ask ourselves instead of, going over what happened, where did it go wrong? We need to stop with a lot of this pessimistic thinking, Virgo. A lot of us are in a rut right now. We feel like we just can't get out of it. We're starting to come out of it though. I really feel like we are. Because now the creative ideas are coming. And when the creative ideas start flowing, we are unstoppable. But Virgo, you need to have confidence in yourself that you can make that creativity come into fruition and that you can make it manifest. Because you know what you want to create. Right here. See that eye? Sees everything, and it creates anything. The possibilities are endless. But yet you walk around with the anger and the aggression and the distorted thinking. We're coming out of it, Virgo. I can feel it. But we need to push forward with positive thoughts. Because you don't want to work with other people, possibly. Are your views a little bit too narrow-minded? Are your views about yourself somewhat narrow-minded? Why do you view yourself as maybe someone of less worth or of less substance in anyone or anything else? Very strange, Virgo. You're going to have to really knock that one off, because just like last month's, that vacillation is just, it thought we learned that in December, November, that it just doesn't work. Why are you mourning? Three of Swords right here. Oppressed situations and sorrow. But why? Because you don't have the hope, huh? You really don't have the hope. And that's what's going to kill you. Because we need that hope, Virgo. And I know that that's a very esoteric, how can I say it? That's a very esoteric headspace to us, because we don't believe in hope. We don't do hope, really. It's result or not. We're very, very, very practical. So when you have hope, Virgo, it brings you into those moments of seeing things that are beyond your understanding, believing in something that is bigger than you are, and believing that there's something out there that's bigger than you are. And I know that that's a hard pill to swallow, maybe a little bit, you know. And don't forget, my tone is a little bit condescending, just a tad bit, and I'll admit it. But remember, I'm a Virgo sun too, so I'm speaking to myself as well. We need to believe that we do have it, because we have those new ideas and we are ready to run with them. But if you don't have the hope that it's going to succeed, what makes you think that the creative ideas are going to manifest and they're going to come into fruition? Because within that moment of hope, that's when we see new ideas, and that's when we see that it's going to happen and we can make it happen. Excuse me. But not when you see yourself in reverse and you just don't think that you have what it takes. Because this thinking pattern right here, when are we going to learn that it's not working any longer? That I want to say, I'm picking up on that, this used to work, Virgo. We used to put ourselves down because then it would fuel us to move forward and it would make us work harder. But now the universe is telling us This is not working anymore. Because what we end up doing, you want to know exactly what we end up doing? We end up oppressing our feelings and our situations, and it leads to mourning. Oh, I'll worry about it later. Oh, I'll feel that later. It's not working anymore, Virgo. And the Father of Stones right here in reverse. Cold, uncaring, lacking success, pain of suffering in the world. Are we worrying about other people's problems a little bit too much, maybe? Is that what is holding us back? Are we being too much of a Virgoian spirit, or do we have too much of it, like we want to save and help the world? But when it comes time to have or to handle your problems, you're just too damn tired? Why are you cold and uncaring? Maybe to yourself? Because of putting yourself down, it could have been better, it could have been this, it could have been that, coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's not working anymore for you, Virgo. Because it's causing you to be lazy. It's causing you to not want to work with other people. It's causing you to not want to engage. And then if you don't want to engage and work with other people, what makes you think that your creative ideas are going to happen? Because you don't have the courage. And all of that, when you don't want to work with other people, but you think the harmony is going to be there? Because, I mean, if you really think about it, are you even in a harmonic situation with yourself if you're coming up reverse and that's in your thoughts? I I don't know what it's going to take, Virgo, like, till we realize that that's not going to work anymore. We cannot keep doing that. We can't do that anymore, Virgo. We aren't seeking the knowledge anymore. Because this is when you don't have moderation. When you become impatient. When ignorance becomes a problem. But it ain't ignorance, because you know. Virgos are not dumb. We know what we do. But why are we choosing to do this? Why are we choosing to not have confidence in ourselves, Virgo? You could be maybe possibly dealing with an Aquarius. Is it Aquarius good for you, Virgo? Is that Aquarius maybe making you feel a little cold? Little lack of success? Is that what you're mourning over? But why are you mourning over the lack of success when you know what you're creating, because you know what you're doing, because you know that it's bringing you nothing but bad, and you know that because it's making you come into reverse, where you're not seeking the knowledge, you're not seeking the enlightenment. Because why, Virgo? Because we're choosing to not do that. Yet we stay calm, we stay peaceful, we believe we have strength of character. Yeah, to other people, but it's somewhat of a facade, maybe? Virgo is all of the vacillation and all of the they'll wait on me. I'll put it to the side. I'll eventually deal with it. I'll get there when I'm ready to deal with that. Um, we'll lift the carpet up pretty soon for all the, you know, the dust that got swept underneath the carpet. How's it going for you? Because is that causing you to act cautiously? Cautiously to make sure that you are okay? Or that you're complacent and you're just fine? Because we may be okay with momentarily, being complacent momentarily or intermittently, but that's not going to work. Because sooner or later, you're going to want to get up and you're going to want to move. You're going to want to move. You really are. You're going to want to move, but you're not moving. Because this right here, this is, look, 4, 5. The creative ideas come before the movement. You have the creative ideas. Oh, I want to do A, B, and C, and D, and F, and G, and H, and I, right? Yeah, cool. All right. Sounds great. But when it comes time to implement it, are you moving? Yeah, you're moving, but you're moving cautiously, which once again, with the vacillation, it's just not going to work anymore. That's not going to working for us anymore, Virgo. We can't keep doing that because it just leads us to sorrow and not feeling like we're ourselves. When work is just kind of a little like repetitive and we wonder why we're not winning like we used to. And we wonder why we're not getting that promotion. And we wonder why, certain things happen. This is for certain instances, for certain people. Once again, this is a general reading. This is for a selective, few who need to hear it. Maybe next month it'll be a little bit different for certain people. Because damn it, Virgo, look what we're creating. Look what we're creating. This is someone who has an old soul. This is a fundamental male. Love family, love nature, and a hard worker. I'm not saying no one loves your family. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the attributes of the card. But Virgo, like, seriously though? Really? And work in reverse too, Virgo, when we're all about getting the damn job done. And people come to us because we know what we're doing and we know how to do it right. And we find the best way and most efficient way of doing things. But how the hell are they going to come to you? And you won't even confront yourself about the issues that are going on. I feel like I'm repeating myself, Virgo, and I hate to say, but this is it. Like, we ain't got the hope. You're not being the old soul like you are. You're not seeking the knowledge. You know what you're creating. You have bad thoughts about yourself in your head. Work isn't too great. But yet you convince yourself that you have strength of character and people may see you, but this is what's in your thoughts. And okay, you think you have strength of character, but yet you're not moving. You have these great grand ideas, but you don't want to move yet. Check this out, Virgo. Two, it's in reverse though. Three, in reverse. Four, five. So when things are harmonious, Virgo, then the work and the satisfaction comes through. And that's when the great ideas come. And then that's when the movement comes. But why is everything else in reverse, but the great ideas are upright? How do you think that the great ideas are going to happen and going to cause movement and goodness in your life and prosperity when the movement's gone? The work is just not there. You don't want to deal with other people. You're going into your shell, which leads to just the lack of harmony. Like, what good is this doing? This is lying to yourself. And for Virgo, no one else can lie to you. You see right through the bullshit. Excuse me for using that word, but you see right through the crap. No one can lie to you. But yet you can convince yourself that everything's gonna be fine. That's funny, Virgo. Yeah. Okay. Let's ask Spirit for 3 cards for how to move from this situation. And so we came into the reading with, oh, look what's at the bottom of the deck right here. This is a blank card. This card stands for endless possibilities. They're endless, Virgo, and they're right at your fingertips. But what you gonna do with them? Are you gonna take it? Or are you just gonna continue on with the complacency? Being complacent. I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it when it comes to your feelings and when it comes to not acknowledging them, it's sinking you down. You're a sinking ship, Virgo, right now, because you don't acknowledge the way that you feel sometimes, Virgo, and you have to acknowledge it. Please work on that. I've been working on that. Even if it's sitting down and just saying, okay, this is what happened. Go over it with yourself. Just acknowledge it, Virgo. Because when you don't acknowledge it, you all kinds of emotional. All of this is stemming from emotion. How do you deal with your emotion, Virgo? Do you even know what that is sometimes? Because not acknowledging the way that you feel, Virgo, if you don't acknowledge it, who's going to acknowledge it? And all it's doing is just making you feel like crap about yourself. What's it doing for you? Because when you acknowledge it, Virgo, You have the power. You really do, Virgo. You'll have it. The great energy, the resilience. Just watch out for the arrogance. Because when Virgos tend to get those creative ideas and they end up coming to fruition, sometimes we tend to get a little arrogant. That's to a detriment, you know? Because that's when we have the discord and we don't, not finding the meaning of our life and of our goals. When that arrogance sets in and when we don't acknowledge our emotions and when we end up feeling like this and we lie to ourselves, Virgo. Just put this out here. Dealing with a Gemini, maybe? Okay. Let's wrap this up. All right, Spirit, please release up to 3 cards for how Virgo can move on from this situation. How can Virgo move on from this situation at hand? The 4 of Cups. Upright. Finding that moment of peace and joy. Action is possible and it leads to growth, Virgo. But are you going to move? Up to 2 more cards. All right. Okay. The 9 of Cups in reverse. Stingy and loss. You don't move, Virgo. Up to 1 more card, please, Spirit. How Virgo can move on from this period. The Daughter of Swords. Capricorn got a little bit of this too. A lot of these cards here. I'm sorry, I apologize. The Daughter of Swords. I'm sorry. This is powerful and confident and dynamic, which is everything that you are, Virgo. But you have to find that moment of peace and joy within your life. Whatever it is, Virgo, you have to find it. Because when you take the action, it brings the endless possibilities, Virgo. And it leads to growth. But now when you're stingy, Virgo, and you have loss, because you don't take that action sometimes. If you don't take that action, you're not going to have that power and you're not going to have, you won't have that power and that confidence and that dynamic part of you where you can handle anything that's given to you or that's thrown at you. The Emperor. Someone who knows what he's going to do. This is the father of protected stability. He knows what he's doing. And he knows how to get there. This is a boss. You need to be a boss again, Virgo. You have to find that within you. And it's going to start with finding that moment of peace and joy. Not having those mixed happiness. Why are they mixed? If you don't, it's just going to lead to loss. To you being stingy, just trying to hold on to whatever little bits that you have left. Because the magician, this is someone who works behind the scenes. And the only way that you're going to be able to do it and work behind the scenes and plan out your course is if you take that action to make it happen. The Son of Stones, right there. Action for positive change. This is change for the next generations in mind. This is a wise person. Yeah, their son, they're little young, a little bit of, but when you're young like that sometimes, Virgo, in this sense, it brings possibility. Knowing that things are going to work out the way that they're supposed to. But you must take that action. This is all, Virgo, this is all action. Another blank card right there. And there's only 2 within this whole deck. Because when you take that action, Virgo, you're going to have the possibilities when you seek that wisdom. You need to seek the wisdom so that you come up right. The possibilities are there for you, Virgo. They're there, right there. Look at that. 2 blank cards. They're blank because you're the artist. And you have that paintbrush. But what you going to paint? The world is your canvas. But what you going to paint? All right, Virgo. I hate to say that. I hate to beat you up there, but I'm beating myself up. But, let's take this as constructive criticism. That's the best way to do it, to take this. And this may not apply to everyone, but the ones that it does apply to, I hope that it helped you. And it shows you that you need to get up and you need to move. It's time to move. Enough with the vacillation. All right, Virgo, I hope you appreciate it. You're reading for May of 2017.